Okay, so we have the topic drugs commonly abused. In this particular discussion, you will be able to understand the different types of drugs according to effects. Okay, moving on. Uh, of course, you are very familiar with shabu and marijuana. Okay, so these drugs are very commonly abused in the Philippines. Okay. We have this stimulant drug that excite the central nervous system. It increase alertness, decrease fatigue, delaying sleep, also impale appetite, and cause weight loss. So, in stimulant, also known as the uppers, because it increases our alertness. And hindi tayo napapagod, and it also delaying sleep, impale appetite, walang gana kumain, and because of that, it cause weight loss. Okay? So, it excite the central nervous system. We have two kinds of nervous system in our body. The central nervous system that composes the brain and the spinal cord and responsible for our thinking and decision making. And the other one is the peripheral nervous system. That's our muscle. Uh, so whatever the decision, whatever our thinking, the the peripheral nervous system uh, act on that. Will act the peripheral nervous system. Kung gusto nating lumakad, then tayo ay makalakad because of the peripheral nervous system. Our muscle will respond to whatever decision comes from our nervous system or brain. Okay? So, stimulant, example is the caffeine. Of course, you are very familiar with caffeine. If we take a coffee, then we feel that hindi tayo napapagod at you know hindi tayo inaantok pag tayo ay nagkakape, because caffeine is an stimulant drug that increases our alertness. It decreases fatigue, hindi tayo napapagod. Fatigue means a state of feeling very tired because of stimulant is an effect to the drug that hindi tayo napapagod at na nawawala yung gana natin na kumain, and because of that it cause weight loss. Okay, so example is caffeine. Okay, is a stimulant also known as uppers. Example of this is the shabu, street names, poor man's cocaine, ice, shabs, ubas, bato, and supaw. Okay? Scientific name, methamphetamine hydrochloride or shabu. So a type of amphetamine also known as poor man's cocaine. Other names are shabu, ubas, supaw, sha, and ice. Okay? Shabu is a white, odorless crystal or crystalline powder with a bitter numbing test. The second drug under stimulant is cocaine, an agent that produces a temporary increase of the functional activity or efficiency of an organism or any of its part. Okay? So, temporary increase of functional activity. Yeah. Again, it increases alertness, cocaine. Street name, we have Cook, uh, Snow, Lake, and Bow. Cocaine is a drug from the leaves of the coca plant. Take note, Cocaine is a drug from the leaves of coca plant, a shrub that originated in South America. So comes from coca plant. This drug affects the central nervous system as stimulant. It increases alertness, decrease fatigue, and it also uh, affects our appetite. Loss. There will be a loss of appetite. So because of that, it causes loss weight. The name comes from coca, of course, coca, because comes from coca plant. The alkaloid suffix "ine" or "ine" forming cocaine. It is a stimulant and an appetite suppressant and topical anesthetic. Topical anesthetic is something that you can't feel like anesthesia. So if you administer coca, then you might not feel the pain, something like that. Okay. So another drugs according to effects is opiates or narcotic narcotic drugs. A group of drugs that are used medically to relieve pain but a high potential for abuse. So narcotics drugs is actually a medicine para mawala yung sakit, to relieve pain. The problem is it has the high potential for abuse. Pwedeng abusuhin. In medicine, the term opiate describes any of the narcotic opioid alkaloids found as natural products in the opium poppy plant na tinatawag na Papaver somniferum. So again, it is an opium poppy plant na tinatawag na Papaver somniferum. Narcotic substance that lessens pain and or induces torpor. Lessen pain. Kung hindi man matanggal yung sakit, yung hapdi, at least malisan or induces torpor. Pwede ring pangpatulog. Okay? That is the narcotic drugs. The effects of narcotics drugs is mawala yung sakit, mawala yung pain, yan. At pwede rin pangpaantok. Narcotic. Opium is the dried latex obtained from the opium poppy. So, opium poppy na tinatawag na Papaver somniferum. Opium poppy, Papaver somniferum is the species of plant from which opium and poppy seeds are derived. Okay? So, opium is the source of many narcotics. So, maraming narcotics including morphine and its derivative heroin. Okay? So, lahat, yung opium, yung morphine, the morphine, the heroin are come from the opium. The Latin botanical name means the sleeping bringing poppy, referring to the sedative properties of some of these opiates. That is why uh, the opium or opiates or narcotic drugs are not only to relieve pain. Some of the opiate drugs or narcotic drugs are also has sedative properties. Ano ba yung sedative? This type of drug that induces sleepness. Okay? So, sedatives like sleeping pill. It's a medicine drug that induces sleep. But of course, we are talking of drugs that are commonly abused. So we have opium. So opium is come from the opium poppy plant, and morphine also come from the opium. Is a potent opiate analgesic drug that is used to relieve severe pain. Okay? Kaya nga may nung World War II, may mga soldiers na nag-i-inject ng morphine. because it really relieves severe pain. Pag sila ay nasusugatan, then they take morphine. The problem with morphine is later on my withdrawal effect that is very dangerous. So morphine is an opiate analgesic drug come from opium poppy. It relieves severe pain. Took's name from the Greek god of dreams, Morpheus, the most abundant alkaloid found in opium. So morphine is the most abundant alkaloid found in opium. Morphine can usually be found in tablet uh, form, syrup, injection, or as a suppository form. A morphine is usually taken orally via syrup, tablet, or capsule. However, it can come in an injectable form. Okay, we have also heroin. So, it's processed from morphine. Okay, from opium poppy, then the morphine nandyan ang galing sa opium poppy, ano yung morphine na i-process at yun nagkaroon tayo ng heroin. Yan. So it's processed from morphine, a naturally occurring substance extracted from the seed pod of certain varieties of opium plants. Okay, it is typically as a white or brownish powder or as the black sticky substance known on the streets as black tar heroin. Okay. Okay, so tapos na tayo sa stimulant drugs as the narcotic drugs. So we are now here in hallucinogens. So type of drug according to EPICS, hallucinogens. Drugs that are derived from plants, chemical substances, which affects the perception, sensation, behavior, and produces hallucination on the user. So just to recall, no, yung kanina, the stimulant, okay, the effect of the stimulant is increases alertness, decrease of fatigue, loss appetite, and cause weight loss. Okay? Sa narcotic naman, it relieves pain. May some drugs has sedative properties, meaning to say there are drugs that may induce sleepiness. Okay? So that's narcotic or opiate, narcotic drugs. And now, the third one is hallucinogens. Uh, it affects our perception, sensation, behavior, and produces hallucination on the user. Okay? So, dito sa hallucinogens, it affects our perception. Okay? Our senses. Of course, the number one is, of course, marijuana. Marijuana is the term used to describe all the plant material like leaves, tops, stems, flowers, and roots from cannabis plant or cannabis sativa, dried and prepared for smoking or taken orally as brownies. Okay. The mind-altering component is the tetrahydrocannabinol or THC for short, which is concentrated in the ricin. So the perception, the effects of marijuana is come from the THC or the tetrahydrocannabinol. Okay? Then that's the example of uh, hallucinogens ni marijuana. Okay? Now, punta tayo sa depressants or sedatives, also known as lowers. So lowers, bakit? Because it is opposite from stimulant. Stimulant is upper. It increases our alertness, hindi tayo napapagod, hindi tayo inaantok. But in depressant, these drugs that have mild calming or sleep-producing effect upon the central nervous system. Kung sa stimulant, alertness. Yung nervous system natin naapektuhan, alertness. But dito, sleepness. It produces sleep depressant or lower. Okay? So example, we have, wala nang example. Number 5, we have inhalants, drug whose volatile vapors are taken via the nose and trachea. Okay? So inhalants, sinisimot, include solvents, bases, and aerosol rugby, gasoline, hairspray, lighter fluid, and air pressure. Okay? So just to recall the drugs according to effects, we have we have four. Number one, we have the stimulant. It increases alertness and increases alertness, decrease fatigue. Then we have narcotic or opiate drugs. These drugs it relieves pain, and there are also drugs, narcotic drugs that has sedative properties, meaning it induces sleepiness or calmness. Then the the third one is the hallucinogens. Hallucinogens. The effects of hallucinogens is our perception. Okay, the perception. The so ano example sa perception? The hallucination and illusion. Then we have the fourth one is the sedatives or depressant, meaning these drugs affects our nervous system. It induces sleepiness, okay, calmness. Lastly, the inhalants. Yan, the last one, inhalants. Okay, drugs before are taken in a via nose and trachea, like rugby. Some okay. Okay, that's all in this particular this topic.